The Beginning of an Angelic Starseed, Part 1. My Awakening. Jeffrey's my name. My story begins in October of 2012. One evening I looked up to the sky to see a bright, yellow-orange sunset split into two parts of the sky. It looked strange, but at the same time beautiful. Off to sleep I went. The next morning, when I awoken, I felt a strange vibrational scan that started from my head and proceeded all the way through my body and out through my feet. It left me feeling reborn and feeling young again. My day was absolutely wonderful until I could not find my cell phone anywhere. I swore I left it on my nightstand. That night, I had a dream. My star family showed me my phone next to me while I slept on the nightstand. So the next day, I tore apart my nightstand and pretty much my whole bedroom, never to be found again, and brushed it off as whatever. This was a major turning point in my timeline. I was told that the timeline I was on was not a vibrant timeline. So my family moved me to another timeline and also told me I was running an automatic on the old timeline. This is why I could not find my phone. It was with the other me on the other timeline. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I was not yet clairvoyant or that good at my telepathic abilities, so it seemed. Off to Walmart I went to purchase a new phone. This is where my life takes a whole new meaning of the old programming. I was working for a company for over 10 years that was not grateful at all for any human, including me. I was a technician working massive hours, thinking that this was all there was in life. One day, we acquired a new boss. This being was the straw that broke the camel's back. He was a very negative soul, his way or the highway. I finally chosen the highway, put my 2 weeks in and was gone. For months and many interviews later, I finally found a management position with a great company. Part 2. The testing of my angelic abilities. All my life, I had always been told I was warm-blooded by my friends and companions. There is a good reason for this. My light body was active when I came into this lifetime. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. My main sequence star system is Sirius. I am part of the Great Lines of Sirius. I also have many family in many other star systems. Now getting back to the new job. The testing begins. The ego is one of the hardest to relinquish. Only by fully opening your heart can it be tamed into pure balance between the intellectual mind and the universal heart, with the heart always leading first. The first 3 months of my job were exhausting. Old programming was running rapid throughout the company. To boot, negative souls were not helping. In my time there, I would be tested externally and internally. We had a beautiful courtyard with trees and tables. When spring came, miracles started happening. Flowers started growing all around the courtyard in amazing beauty. Everybody could not believe it. Then one late afternoon, a storm came through with an amazing sunset, with a very special gift for me. A super rainbow, I call it, right over my head. This is the most brilliant rainbow I have ever seen. And out of this rainbow came something from the sky. I had to take a second look. I could not believe my eyes. It looked like a fairy in a kid's storybook. It had the most ruby pink wings glistening in the rainbow light. I broke down into massive tears. I am so very blessed by heaven. I'm going to tell you something that many do not quite understand. When your light body is brilliantly in love and in balance, sometimes people will cough around you for no apparent reason. It's because their vibrational light body is vibrating. It's because your vibrational light body is vibrating much higher than theirs. Believe it or not, you are helping them. They just don't understand what's going on yet. Now back to the new job. As the months grew, so did the people. I could see the effects I was having on them. Almost everybody was becoming kinder, learning to work together as a team, accomplishing goals on time. Over a year now, and my dad went to a very nice assisted living community. My dad had Parkinson's, and his health began to deteriorate. I loved my dad so very, very much. He gave me strength and wisdom and helped me through some tough times. Then one day, when the phone call came that he had fallen and broken his hip, he was rushed to the hospital and went into surgery before I could get there. After surgery, he never woke up. I was heartbroken. Because I did not get to tell him how much I loved him. Later that evening, sitting in the room, I knew my dad made his choice to leave his body. He was very weak already for my dad to endure the pain, and a rehabilitation would prove to be monumental, let alone having the strength. That's why most older people who break their hips don't recover. It's an extremely painful operation and recovery. Many choose at that time to come back to heaven. Later that evening in the hospital room, a very silent and peaceful feeling came into my awareness. Then everybody stepped out of the room, and I was the only one there. All of a sudden, an angel and my dad stepped out of the wall and into the room, glowing brightly and shimmering. The angel wanted me to know that my dad would be very much loved and cared for. I was very blessed to be able to tell my dad how much I loved him and how much I would miss him. Tears flooded my eyes and my heart because I knew he would be loved beyond comprehension. Because of the event that happened in the hospital room, I was no longer sad in any way. You're probably wondering why I didn't tell my family of the event. I did. My sister and my brother just brushed it off. Sometimes people are not very spiritually awakened. I mean inside themselves. God never makes judgment on anybody. He loves even the lost ones. This is a free will universe, and you alone choose what path you want to follow. Believing in yourself and God, you must believe before you receive the true knowledge of who you really are. You are great beings from heaven, loved beyond the stars themselves. This is my story, and it will continue until I have told it all.